Here is a short video on how to prepare MCQs. This video will be helpful for the students of all professional courses like CA, CMA or CS, and it will be useful to some other students also where they need to study MCQs. So generally in case of MCQs, what happens is large number of questions needs to be prepared. If you don't prepare in a scientific manner, it is not possible for anyone to prepare all the MCQs. So that's why here is a scientific approach for preparing MCQs. So first of all, let us see how to note down the key for MCQs. I have seen several students having a habit of putting a tick mark against the correct option in their material itself. What will happen if you follow that practice? So if you follow that practice, what happens is in the next revision, whenever you open the material, you will not be giving any chance to your mind to think about the question, because the answer is already appearing there. It's already given a tick mark. That's why never put any such tick mark against the correct answer in your material. Your material should remain blank. So in simple words, try to avoid writing anything in the material. If you do so, that material will not be suitable for revision. What you need to do is you put a separate notebook, note down the chapter name. So question number 1, option C, question number 2, option D, question number 3, option A. Whatever the right option is there, you note it down in a separate notebook and don't write anything in the material. Never revise the MCQs just by simply looking at the answer provided in the material. Several students have this bad habit. They will read MCQs just like any other theory subject. No, it will not work out for you. So they will simply look at the question and answer, question and answer. No, this is neither a problematic paper nor a theory paper. So your approach towards preparing MCQs should be entirely different with respect to when compared to that of theory and problematic papers. Just by looking at the material, revising the MCQs, that will not work out. It is near to impossible to mug up answers for thousands of MCQs. Even if you mug up, you are bound to forget the same. And don't forget that in professional courses, you will not get the same MCQs copy pasted. At least there will be minor modifications in the MCQs. So never ever try to mug up the MCQs and its answers. First, try to get complete command over the concepts. Conceptual clarity is very important. MCQs are there to test whether your conceptual clarity is good or not. So in other words, use MCQs as a tool to test your knowledge. Don't try to treat them as a source of learning. MCQs are not there as a source of learning. MCQs are being given to check whether your conceptual clarity is good or not. For example, there is a concept called income demand. What does income demand says? When the income of the consumer increases, demand of majority commodities increases. When the income of consumer decreases, demand for majority commodities decreases. More particularly, we can understand this phenomena in two different types of commodities. One is superior goods, another one is inferior goods. What will happen in case of superior goods? As the income increases, the demand for superior goods also increases. As the income decreases, the demand for superior goods also decreases. So there is a direct relationship between income of the consumer and demand for superior commodities. Since the relationship is direct, if you draw an income demand curve, it will slope upwards from left to right. That means positive slope. It will slope upwards from left to right. That means positive slope. In case of inferior goods means cheap goods. In case of inferior goods, as the income of consumer increases, demand for such kind of commodities decreases. As the income of the consumer decreases, then the demand for such kind of inferior goods increases. So there is an inverse relationship between income of the commodity and demand for that commodity in case of inferior goods. Since the relationship is inverse, the demand curve will slope downwards from left to right. That means negative slope. This is how you need to understand the concepts well. So I have read the concept of demand around 20-25 years back, but still I am able to remember. This is called conceptual clarity. You must have proper command over the subject. So after that you open the MCQs, but never try to directly open the MCQs. Students must read the nook and corner of the theory. In public exams, there are very good chances that MCQs are given from nook and corners of theory concepts. So, open your material, read and analyze each MCQ and take a separate rough notes and try to note down your answer in a separate notebook. So, you read question number 1. In your opinion, answer is option C. Write it down in a notebook. So, read question number 2. In your opinion, right answer is option A. Write it down in the notebook. Read question number 3. In your opinion, right answer is option D. Write it down in the notebook. In that manner, you try to write down the answers for all the MCQs in the chapter in a separate notebook. After completion of writing answers to all the MCQs, now open the key provided by us and compare with, the questions which you have wrongly answered. That means you need to identify the questions you have wrongly answered and try to analyze why you have committed a mistake. Is it because of wrong interpretation of question? In such a case, you need to be very careful while reading the question. Is it because of lack of command over the subject? In such a case, you try to read the concepts once again. You try to get command over the concepts once again and then come back to MCQs. Is it because of calculator mistake? Then you need to do some practice on calculator. In that manner, try to analyze the reasons for wrongly answered MCQ. So why you have wrongly answered an MCQ? Try to analyze the reasons and see that you don't commit the same mistake again. So don't get frustrated if a particular topic or problem or MCQ completely puzzles you. That means if you get confused on a particular topic, don't get frustrated. Spend some more time in understanding the concepts. Put it aside and tackle it later on with a fresh mind. So identify the mistakes committed by you and analyze why and how you committed the mistakes and analyze the steps to be taken by you to see that you don't commit the same mistake again. With this, your mind gets fine-tuned and over a period of time, you can easily be able to identify the correct answer to each MCQ. So that means you need to identify what is correct, what is wrong to your brain. So after that, your brain gets fine-tuned and over a period of time, just by reading a question, you can clear-cut give the correct answer. The chances of giving wrong answer will come down. Your mind needs to be fine-tuned. So for that purpose, we must tell what is correct option, what is wrong option to your mind. Identify the MCQs which you feel to be very easy and does not require to be revised again and strike off such MCQs in the material. So while reading the MCQs, you may identify few MCQs to be very easy and which does not require any preparation again. Strike it off. Even while faculty is teaching the MCQs in the classroom, try to identify such easy MCQs which you feel not required to be revised again and strike off them while listening to the classes itself. That means your preparation has to get started in the classroom itself. If you feel few MCQs to be very important, then try to put a special symbol against those MCQs like star mark or some other symbol of your choice. That means easy MCQs, unimportant MCQs, strike off. Important MCQs, tough MCQs, star mark. In each revision, revise MCQs which are not striken off and you can ignore the MCQs that are already striken off by you. In every revision, you ignore the MCQs already striken off by you and revise only the remaining MCQs. In every revision, try to eliminate some more MCQs. That means try to strike off some more MCQs that were not striken off earlier. With this, you will be able to save at least 50% of your preparation time and thus you can pay more attention on important MCQs. After few revisions, whatever the MCQs left out, that is without striking off, all such MCQs shall be treated as very important. So day before your public exam, just revise the MCQs that are not striken off. That means day before public exam, you shall not get inclined to read each and every MCQs. So it is sufficient for you to refer only MCQs that were not striken off. Also refer important MCQs that were highlighted with a special symbol. A student must be in a position to strike off at least 90% of MCQs before the public exam. So by the time you go for public exam, you must be in a position to strike off at least 90% of the MCQs. In simple words, day before public exam, the student has to focus only on the remaining 10% MCQs that were not stricken off. So your focus should be on the MCQs that were not stricken off and the MCQs which were marked as important. In addition to that, put some special symbols against some MCQs or theory questions or some theory concepts that you feel to be difficult or which you feel to be revised the day before public exam or pre-final exam without fail. So that you need to do while revising. Don't forget that day before your public exam or day before your pre-final exam, you will be left with very less amount of time, and in that little amount of time, you shall revise the entire subject. Unless you highlight the most important areas to be revised during that time, it is impossible to revise the entire syllabus in that short span of time. So that means you have to make all the necessary arrangements while preparing itself. So don't be in a wrong notion that without doing all this work, you will be able to revise the entire subject day before exam. Impossible. You must try to identify and strike off unimportant MCQs in each revision. You must highlight important MCQs in each revision, and you shall focus on those areas day before public exam. So unless you make all these arrangements while preparing, you will not be able to revise the entire subject day before your public exam. Day before your public exam, it is not possible for anyone to revise all the MCQs. Try to revise only the MCQs that were not stricken off by you earlier. Also revise important MCQs highlighted to be important. After completion of each exam, that is any of our internal exams, you gather the question paper. In that question paper, you highlight the MCQs which you have left unanswered or MCQs which you have wrongly answered, and file such question paper in a proper manner and safeguard them. So for your public exams or pre-final exams or any other grand exams, don't forget to refer all such question papers. That means don't forget to revise all the MCQs which you have left unanswered and also MCQs which you have wrongly answered. Try to revise such questions in question papers as many number of times as possible so that your chances of committing same mistake again in the public exam will come down. Don't forget to revise all such questions day before your pre-final or public exam or any other grand exam. Try to refer as many sources as possible so that you can come across wide range of questions. Because when you come across wide range of questions, it becomes easy for you to handle a new question in the public exam. As you practice wide range of questions, you can easily handle new questions posed in the public exam. Of course, don't forget that how to prepare MCQs is more important than where and how many MCQs that you have prepared. Number is not important. The way you are preparing is more important. So these are the tips for you to improve your performance in MCQ subjects. All the best, my dear students.